Good morning, Esports Radio fans that are listening live on the West Coast, and good afternoon to all of the Esports Radio fans that are listening live here in the central time zone states and on the East Coast. It's your boy, the SoCal Saint, back at it again with another new edition of the premier professional wrestling podcast, the only professional wrestling podcast on the IE Sports Radio Network, the IE Wrestling Show. What is going on, everyone? I hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far. It is Hump Day, and we are just now getting into some awesome wrestling news here. If you're listening live, please, I want to say thank you. Just give me some love. Show me some love. I would love it and appreciate it if you guys hit a like, share, and subscribe. If you're listening live in the chat room, say hi. I'll give you a shout out live here on the air. If you're listening later on the download on YouTube or one of our many platforms like Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, I do appreciate it. Thank you. Please still hit a like, share, and subscribe. Show some love. Please, if you're on the X, follow me at IE Wrestling Show. That's at IE Wrestling Show. And you can also follow the main hub for all of our shows. That's at IE Sports Radio. Check out our awesome website at iesportsradio.com. That's once again iesportsradio.com. You can actually join for free. And you could be a part of the IE Sports Radio extended family by joining in on live blog postings, chat rooms with the hosts of many of our IE Sports Radio shows. Please check out the merch store if you want to show some love and throw some shekels our way. Go to the iesportsradio.com merch store and buy yourself a hat, a shirt, whatever you want. Check it out, show some love, and please do yourself a favor and give some love to our awesome sponsor. That's planetjerky.net. That's planetjerky.net. 100% beef brisket beef jerky. This jerky is delicious. It's low in sugar, high in protein, and 100% brisket beef. It is delicious. This jerky is on a whole other planet. Ooh, yeah. Hey, shout out to Jen B in the chat room. Thank you for joining us. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us. We got a lot to talk about, guys. Big weekend this past weekend in the world of professional wrestling. If you guys were following me on X or just a part of the IWC, that's the internet wrestling community, a lot of love and praise shown to TNA Wrestling. That's Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. They had their big rebirth this past weekend in Paradise, Nevada at the Palms Casino Resort with their big pay-per-view, the first premium live event that was branded under the TNA name since 2016. That was TNA Hard to Kill this past weekend. We will definitely get into it. It was a great show. I didn't get a chance to watch it live, but I actually caught it on a replay. And man, what an awesome show it was. That crowd was hot from start to finish, which definitely came across on television and made it more enjoyable for myself. Anytime that you have a hot crowd live watching your event, it always seems to translate very well across the television screen and gets the person that's watching it at home that much more involved, I would say, in my opinion. And for me, that's how it worked on my end. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I had I don't want to say I had high expectations going into it, but I definitely had a lot of hope and a lot of come on guys, let's do this, let's get this, because a lot of people have been sleeping on Impact Wrestling / now once again TNA Wrestling for the last few years, because everybody's been so far up Tony Khan's stupid ass and AEW that they have been missing out on an actual real wrestling company in TNA. And Scott D'Amore has been doing some great things with TNA Wrestling, and this past weekend's event definitely showed that. And we will definitely get into that here in a little bit. But I want to jump into some wrestling news before we get into the nitty-gritty of our review of TNA's first pay-per-view of the new year, Hard to Kill. And so we actually have some awesome sports news that's affiliated with some wrestling stars, current and past. So this is some awesome news I wanted to share, since he is definitely one of the most well-liked and most popular superstars on the WWE roster today, and possibly of all time. I am talking about the latest member of the Judgment Day, R-Truth. That's right, R-Truth. What's up? What's up? That's right, R-Truth. His son, Chris Killings, R-Truth's real name is Ron Killings, and that's the name that he went by when he was a part of TNA, when he was Ron the Truth Killings. Ron Killings' son, Chris Killings, actually had a monumental, standout, record-breaking moment this past weekend at his college. Congratulations to Penn State University Greater Allegheny junior guard Chris Killings, scoring his 1,000th point in a 107-85 victory over PSU Dubois. Chris finished with 17 points and 6 assists. He was able to celebrate this great accomplishment with his father in attendance, Ron Killings, a.k.a. R-Truth of the WWE and member of the Judgment Day. So, wow, that's awesome. Congratulations to the son of Ron Killings for scoring his 1,000th career point in basketball. That is so cool. That is so really cool to hear, man. That makes me really happy to hear. And it was great that Ron, aka R-Truth, actually got to be in attendance and see this record-breaking moment for his son. You can see the new regime of the WWE is all about making sure keeping the talent happy, keeping the talent rested, and making sure that the most important things don't go missed, as in spending time with your family and being there for big moments such as this. So congratulations to R-Truth and his son Chris Killings on this record-breaking moment in his young basketball career. That's really cool to see. Big news. Okay, let me pose a question to you. What do WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg and primetime Deion Sanders have in common? It's an odd question, right? What do they have in common? Well, it would be Goldberg's son, Gage Goldberg, because it was announced via TMZ Sports that Bill Goldberg's son, Gage, is now going to be moving colleges, and he will now be playing under the tutelage of primetime himself, Deion Sanders, in Colorado. That's right, Gage Goldberg, a 205-pound middle linebacker out of Bourne Champion High School in Texas, will be headed to the University of Colorado to be coached under the tutelage of primetime himself, Coach Deion Sanders. Gage actually commented that he was supposed to be committing, he was very close to committing to Roll Tide, Alabama, until Saban, the coach of Alabama, unexpectedly retired last week. He stated in an interview that his top schools were Alabama, Duke, UCF, and NC State. Those are my 4. And then Goldberg reached out to Deion, and the coach called him personally, and the opportunity came up for a preferred walk-on at Colorado, and he committed to that. It's a significant change for the Goldberg family. In fact, Bill was already looking at property in Tuscaloosa. But things have changed, and despite Goldberg having wanted his son to play for Saban, arguably the greatest college football coach ever, he's happy he'll be coached by Coach Prime Deion Sanders. This is what Goldberg had to say. Deion and I are great friends. I love the man like he's my brother. It's just a huge decision. It's not based on who's got the coolest uniforms. It's based on who's going to take care of you the most and where you have the best opportunity both on and off the field. I'm going to continue to sing his praises, but after I speak so highly of this person, why would I not want this person to be the head coach of my son? So, man, big news for the son of a WWE Hall of Famer. Bill Goldberg's son, Gage Goldberg, is going to be headed to the University of Colorado under the tutelage of Coach Primetime Deion Sanders. That's some big news coming out of TMZ Sports. So that's really cool to see. Congratulations to Gage Goldberg and Bill Goldberg, WWE Hall of Famer. Can you imagine seeing Goldberg? Yo, Larry B, shout out to the head honcho of IE Sports Radio, Larry B in the chat room. Larry B, can you imagine seeing the man, Goldberg, standing on the sidelines with Primetime? I mean, that'd be kind of wild to see. But, I mean, who knows? Stranger things have happened. So, some other wrestling news, guys. Here we go. It was announced over the weekend by GCW, that's Game Changer Wrestling, that their big event coming up Saturday, February 3rd from the Ukrainian Cultural Center in Los Angeles, California. Tickets are on sale now at gcwcoldest2.eventbrite.com. That the main event for their big event, the Coldest Winter 2, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California on February 3rd, will be Matt Cardona, the indie god, taking on the newly free-agented wanted man, Nick Nemeth. For those who don't know, Nick Nemeth, formerly known as WWE's Dolph Ziggler. Matt Cardona, of course, was formerly known as WWE's Long Island IC Zack Ryder. This is going to be a big, big match. These two guys are actually really good friends in real life. Dolph Ziggler was actually a groomsman at Cardona's wedding to WWE's current superstar Chelsea Green. These guys go way back. They were actually Matt Cardona's very first big singles championship win in the WWE came at the hands of Nick Nemeth, when it was Zack Ryder defeating Dolph Ziggler for the United States Championship all the way back in December of 2011 at TLC. So, man, to get that revisited, that was a great match. That was a great opening match for that pay-per-view. And to have these guys revisit an old feud on the indies at one of the biggest indie companies in the world today, GCW, that's really going to be awesome to see. So Nick Nemeth and Matt Cardona are booked for a showdown at the Coldest Winter 2, Saturday, February 3rd, from Los Angeles, California. Tickets are still on sale, guys. You can still get tickets for this big event. In the world of Hollywood, guys, cast member of the hit Netflix series Cobra Kai. Where did that article go? I just had that article. Oh man, I just lost it. I am so sorry. Where did it go? Okay, his name is Paul Walter Hauser, I think that's his name. That's how you say it. He just won an Emmy. He's an Emmy Award-winning actor now after this weekend's Emmy Awards. And during his Emmy speech, this guy, man, you know he loves professional wrestling because during his Emmy speech, he actually shouted out the indie god himself, Matt Cardona, New Japan Pro Wrestling's Kazuchika Okada, and AEW's Kota Ibushi. This guy shouted out professional wrestlers during his on-air Emmys victory speech. And he actually had a match against local indie-fed promoter right here in my backyard of Fort Worth, Texas, Metroplex Wrestling's owner, Matthew Palmer. He actually had a match with him at Wrestling Revolver about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, like the tail end of November into December. And he's actually going to be competing at another Wrestling Revolver event coming up in February against Matt Cardona. That one's going to be taking place in Iowa. When I have more information on that, I'll get that, guys. I'll get that information to you. At the moment, I don't have anything on it right now. I do apologize, but this guy definitely is a big fan of professional wrestling, and he's not afraid to show it. So that's really cool to see one of the members. I wouldn't say he's a Hollywood elite, but an award-winning actor is not afraid to show love to the professional wrestling fan base and to the professional wrestlers in it. So congratulations to Hauser on his Emmy victory, and thanks for the shout-out to us wrestling fans and wrestlers alike. Got a question for you, brother. When it comes crashing down and you're trapped inside, the Hulkster's gonna save you from a car accident. That impromptu version of Real American by Rick Derringer comes on the heels of this crazy moment in Hulk Hogan's life. Via TMZ, Hulk Hogan saved the life and came to the aid of a 17-year-old girl involved in a car accident. TMZ Sports reports that this past weekend, Hulk Hogan, with his wife Sky and a friend on the highway this past Sunday night in Clearwater, Florida, came upon a car accident that happened right before their very eyes. The car erratically swerved across lanes to catch an exit it was about to miss and clipped another car, causing it to flip over and tumble. Hogan pulled over, got out with his friend, rushed over to the driver to check on the woman, who was rattled. The woman was a 17-year-old girl behind the wheel. Hogan and his friend Jake helped get her out of the car, as they were the first ones on scene. Jake popped the woman's airbag with some tools that Hogan had on hand. Both men unbuckled her seatbelt and assisted her in safely leaving the vehicle.
What you gonna do, brother, when the 24-inch python see a trapped girl and she's freaking out? You're gonna get her out of the car, dude, because that's what Hulk Hogan does, brother.
So there you go. The Hulkster, man, going from zero to hero in just one night. Awesome. Good on you, Hulk. Good guy, Hulk Hogan, doing the right thing and helping a young lady out of a very dangerous situation. Apparently, the woman is apparently fine. You know, she's a little banged up and a little scared from what happened. But Hulk Hogan doing the Good Samaritan thing, brother, and saving her from her flipped over vehicle. So shout out to you, Hulkster. And the picture that was released by TMZ Sports couldn't be any more Hulk Hogan-esque, as Hogan, of course, was wearing a bandana. And what kind of t-shirt was Hogan wearing? NWO. Because when you're NWO, you're NWO for life. And that's just too sweet. This was shared by the NWA, of course, the company that is owned by Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan. This was a press release that was officially announced about 6 days ago. National Wrestling Alliance star and cancer survivor Black G's survives shooting and an attempted carjacking. That's insane. NWA star and cancer survivor Black G's legal name Darnell Cottrell survived an attempted carjacking on Thursday, January 11th at approximately 7 p.m. in Philadelphia. Cottrell, who was in his vehicle, was approached by four masked men. In the course of the incident, one of the assailants shot Cottrell in the hip, resulting in a non-life-threatening injury. Cottrell, who possesses a permit to carry a gun, used his legally registered firearm to defend himself and returned fire. The suspects fled the scene, and investigators are currently reviewing surveillance footage for leads. Cottrell was taken to a local hospital and is recovering, scheduled to make his return to action at NWA Paranoia on Saturday, January 13th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, after a courageous battle with cancer. Cottrell faced a setback due to the unfortunate incident. Diagnosed with multiple melanoma in the spring of 2023, a form of blood cancer that develops in plasma cells in the bone marrow, Cottrell's journey has been one of resilience and determination. In response to the incident, Cottrell expressed his gratitude for the support, stating, "I was looking forward to making my return this weekend. I would love to make this trip regardless of the soreness and pain that I am in. However, my gut tells me to stay home with my family this weekend. I look forward to making my return at the next NWA event. Thank you to everyone for your continued support." NWA President William Patrick Corgan, a.k.a. Billy Corgan, also shared his sentiments, wishing Black G's a speedy recovery and expressing anticipation for his return to NWA shows. "We stand by Black G's during this challenging time and wish him a swift recovery. His strength and resilience have inspired us all, and we eagerly await his return to the NWA ring. Our thoughts are with him and his family," and as stated by Corgan. NWA Paranoia was scheduled for this Saturday at Revolution Live, located at 100 Southwest 3rd Avenue in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The show did go off without a hitch at 7 p.m. These matches will be featured on an upcoming NWA Power episodes as programming for the CW. Immediately following NWA Paranoia, the wrestling action continues with the late-night co-promoted show NWA and CCW via Revolution. The following day, wrestling fans can attend NWA fans were able to attend Power television tapings at WEDU Studios located at 1300 North Boulevard, Tampa, Florida. So shout out, thank God. Definitely had, the Lord himself definitely had a cloak of protection over Black G's on that night. Thank God it was a non-life-threatening injury that he sustained after surviving cancer. This guy, these four idiots attempt to carjack this guy and almost attempt to take his life, but thank God the bullet hit him in a non-life-threatening part of his body, and he was able to defend himself and have those guys run away like the cowards that they are. And just I wish him, on behalf of the iSports Radio team, I know I can speak for them as I speak for myself. We wish Black G's, Darnell Cottrell, a speedy recovery, and hopefully he gets back in an NWA ring very, very soon. New Japan Pro Wrestling has announced a big event coming to the Second City in Chicago. That's right, it'll be Windy City Riot, Friday, April 12th in Chicago, Illinois. 2 matches have officially been announced so far for this big event. It will be Hiromu Takahashi going one-on-one with Mustafa Ali. And in a big main event for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, it'll be Tetsuya Naito defending the championship against Jon Moxley. Big show. This is going to be live from Chicago, Illinois in the Wintrust Arena. Tickets are on sale now. Go to WWE, www.ticketmaster.com/event and check out for New Japan Pro Wrestling big debut in the Second City in Chicago, Illinois. Just announced by the WWE. I didn't even know he wasn't even announced, but apparently now it is official. CM Punk, the best in the world, will be live at Elimination Chamber Perth on February 24th. Yes, the big event coming to you live from Australia, Perth, Australia, down under. Elimination Chamber Perth. CM Punk has officially been added to the card for Elimination Chamber. Unknown who he will be competing against or what he'll exactly be doing on the show, but Punk will be live and in attendance that very night. Backtracking to New Japan Pro Wrestling, apparently they have a new member of their roster because shockingly, during the Battle in the Valley show that took place also this weekend in San Jose, California, formerly known as Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, the man that definitely played the biggest role in getting CM Punk fired from AEW, showed up out of nowhere in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He showed up at Battle in the Valley, attacking, I forgot who he attacked. I think he attacked Hiromu Takahashi. He attacked Shota Umani and just beat him down. And he took out a piece of paper, or a packet of paper, it looked like, and it ended up, apparently, I don't know if it's real or not, probably not, but apparently what he was holding was his AEW contract, which he then began to rip into tiny little pieces, and he took off his coat, which revealed an armband on his right arm with the word scapegoat written across it. So I don't know what's up with that. During this attack, a bunch of fans started chanting CM Punk at Jack Perry. So, who knows? Who knows what the deal is with Jack Perry showing up in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Maybe it's a trade-off between AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling since they do work together. I can't imagine that they actually fired Jack from the incident that happened at Brawl In, but they should have. He should have been punished just as much as CM Punk was. But, Tony Khan's too much of a pussy to do that. Speaking of which, this was, this information, some people say take it with a grain of salt, but a lot of other people have come forward and saying that this is, in fact, real. The great Brian Last, the co-host of many of Jim Cornette's podcasts, tweeted this the other day, allegedly from, was a run sheet, allegedly from AEW Collision. And if this is legit, it's extremely gross. And this is what it says here. This was it's an actual it's almost like a production sheet basically of what to do at the taping for Collision. And this is what it said here. These were the two things that really caught me off guard. These are the things that were highlighted. On backstage areas and access at the very bottom highlighted, it says no one should be backstage unless they are working. Do not use North Hallway as a cut-through. I mean, not so much that. Okay, I kind of jumped the gun there. This right here, sign policy. At the very bottom, there's a sign policy, and this is what it says here. No profanity, graphic images, oversized derogatory signs, no blank signs, no sticks or poles, no sign. This one right here, this is the kicker. No signs mentioning Kylie Ray, Chris Jericho in a negative light, Chris Jericho and Kylie Ray, or CM Punk. Now, if this is a legit document that a lot of people are starting to say it does, and it is, that is some shady ass shit to keep fans from speaking their mind, so to speak. I mean, it's AEW. They could do what they want. That's their company. It's Tony Khan's company. He can create the narrative how he wants. But the longer they go without addressing this situation, the more it grows, the more it festers, the more it just gets worse and worse. The more it makes Chris Jericho look guilty, and the more it makes Tony Khan look like a hypocrite is the best word I could put for that, for sure. And speaking of Tony Khan, I always find this interesting. So one of the biggest opponents of Tony Khan online on the X is Eric Bischoff, WWE Hall of Famer Eric Bischoff, former head of WCW. And Eric Bischoff finally gave some insight into what happened between him and Tony Khan, because Tony actually had Eric on AEW programming a while back, like years ago. Eric Bischoff actually was a part of a storyline involving, as a matter of fact, coincidentally, Chris Jericho. It was during Chris Jericho's feud with Orange Cassidy, and Eric Bischoff was a part of that for a single event. Some sort of debate or something. I can't really remember. It wasn't an in-ring. It was an in-ring thing, but it wasn't like wrestling-wise. It was just a segment. And Eric Bischoff played the moderator for this. And this is what Eric Bischoff had to say about his falling out with Tony Khan. I thank the Lord every day that I don't have to go to work for a guy like Tony Khan. I stayed supportive of Tony Khan until November 2 years ago. Tony Khan made an ignorant comment about Ted Turner. Completely ignorant. Tony doesn't have a fucking clue what went on in WCW and why it's not around. The only thing he knows is what Dave Meltzer told him. It was disrespectful and ignorant. Once someone disrespects publicly someone I respect, they go on a different list. I don't care if you're a trust fund baby who owns a wrestling company. I no longer have any respect for you. That was it, Dax. It wasn't because I asked for a job and didn't get one, Dax Hardwood. That was Eric Bischoff was saying this in response to Dax Hardwood, one half of FTR, former AEW Tag Team Champions, because Dax Hardwood apparently was sticking up for his boss and being a company shill and a company ass kisser and talking shit to Eric Bischoff. And this is what Eric Bischoff had to fucking tell Dax Hardwood to sit down, shut the fuck up, and get schooled, like a lot of the AEW talent has been. That was it, Dex. It wasn't because I asked for a job and didn't get one. It wasn't because I was hoping I would get a job offer and it never came. I wake up every day grateful that I don't work for someone like Tony Khan. Or even if I wanted to work for Khan, I'm grateful I don't have to jump on a plane to do it or put up with what has obviously been the amount of drama that's taken place backstage in AEW far surpasses any of the fictional drama that has taken place in the ring. I don't want to be a part of that. Now, Dax, I understand you have to because you don't have options, but I do. If anybody out there listening, if you're the head of the network, if you're the head of a movie studio, and you want me to come work for you, I am able to do it from my home. I'm not traveling unless I want to, so I don't want a job from anybody. So, very, very nice. Awesome to hear Tony... very nice to hear Tony Khan get his fucking his just desserts from Eric Bischoff, and Eric Bischoff, clearing the air, even though he never really had to. He didn't have to tell us that, you know what I mean? But too many people keep coming at him with this stupid narrative that he's upset that Tony Khan never hired him for anything, and he wanted to clear the air and just be like, look, that's not the case. I don't want to work for that fucking guy, and here's why. So, I believe Eric over some company shill, that's for sure. Very scary situation for the WWE guys. One of the biggest main events for this year's WrestleMania could be in serious, legitimate jeopardy because of what took place after the main event of Monday Night Raw. After successfully defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Jinder Mahal in the main event of Monday Night Raw, multiple sources backstage at Raw state that Seth Rollins possibly has suffered a legitimate injury to his left leg. Multiple sources stated that he was helped in the back and eventually put weight on his leg. He was walking on his own, but with a definite limp, and will be further evaluated to determine the severity of the injury. This comes by way of PW Torch. Apparently, also, to further along with that, Seth apparently went in for an MRI yesterday, or today. They couldn't really pinpoint when it was. It was either yesterday or he's doing that today. Or he went in yesterday and is going to receive the results today. This came from What Culture Wrestling on YouTube as they got more information from Fightful Select and PW Torch as well. So I'm hoping that, man, he did not suffer a knee injury that would actually take him out of the WrestleMania big match against CM Punk, because that, it isn't confirmed, but that is the rumor going around that at least one of the main events for the 2 nights of WrestleMania would be the World Heavyweight Championship between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. That's a huge money match. That's a big match that I personally, and I'm sure a lot of other wrestling fans, want to see. And hopefully, I hope to God that Seth is not injured. It seems like every time Seth has a world title run, something happens to almost derail it. His very first WWE Championship was derailed by a torn ACL. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully this is something that if he just stays off his feet, wrestling-wise, if he stays out of in-ring competition for like a month or so, he'll be able to go at WrestleMania. Hopefully it's not something that requires surgery and time away from the company to repair. So fingers crossed, guys. Prayers to Seth Rollins. Let's hope for the best outcome. Hopefully Seth does not require surgery. Let's just keep our fingers crossed as wrestling fans. Big debut last night on NXT television. The former NWA Women's Tag Team Champion, Maddie Renkowski, now going by the name Ren Sinclair, has officially made her NXT debut. After reportedly signing with the WWE in December, Renkowski's unofficial debut took place in an NXT Anonymous video on January 9th. She then stepped into the ring for the first time on yesterday's episode of NXT, participating in a battle royal for a chance at the NXT Women's Championship. Renkowski got the opportunity due to Cora Jade's injury. That's another thing that just happened this past weekend. Poor Cora Jade, man. I feel so bad for her. She just came back to NXT full-time, and unfortunately she sustained a torn ACL on January 12th, and Cora Jade is going to be out for months. I don't know the number of months that she'll be out, but she's going to be out for quite some time. So this push that Cora Jade was getting is now on the back burner until she gets healthy and back to normal. So that's really unfortunate. So shout out to Cora Jade. I hope you have a speedy and successful recovery, and we see you back in the ring sooner rather than later. Take care. As I continue, under the new name Ren Sinclair, Maddie Renkowski showcased her skills in the match, even making a noteworthy move by eliminating Lash Legend. Although Roxanne Perez ultimately emerged as the winner, Ren Sinclair generated excitement with her performance. Before joining NXT, Renkowski held the NWA World Women's Tag Team Championship and previously appeared on many episodes of AEW Dark and Dark Elevation. So, big debut for a former NWA talent in NXT. According to independent wrestling promoters, Mustafa Ali's impact on ticket sales for some of his first events since becoming a free agent from the WWE is the most that they've seen in years for a WWE departure. And this comes by way of Fightful Select. So, apparently, Mustafa Ali has had a great impact on a lot of indie promoters' ticket sales and overall box office. So way to go, Mustafa Ali. That's what you got to do, man. Prove that you are a draw, since the WWE didn't see it when you were under contract. This is another win for the WWE. I got to give them respect for this. According to a report by PW Insider, despite not being used on television for almost a year, Bo Dallas, the brother of the late great Bray Wyatt, is still an employee of the WWE and getting paid on a regular basis by the company. Man, after Wyatt's untimely passing last year, WWE has been doing above and beyond what they can for the Wyatt family. No pun intended. But they really are. They're doing above and beyond what a lot of people expected them not to do. So I really got to give kudos and praise to the WWE. And you know, I would got to say that's got to be definitely a Triple H call, since Triple H and Bray were so tight, and that was such a special. They had such a special relationship between each other. All right, guys, we're gonna take a short little break, and we will be back with some more wrestling content. We will be back, and we'll get into TNA's Hard to Kill. Stay tuned, guys.
Damn! Create a team! Set! Hey!
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Callum Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head prime-time face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
What's good, everyone? Thank you for tuning back in. If you're still with us with the IE Wrestling Show, it's your boy, the SoCal Saint. Please follow me on the X at IE Wrestling Show. If you just tuned it in, we're getting into some wrestling news. We talked about the sons of WWE superstars. R-Truth's son, Chris Killings, hitting his record 1,000 point in basketball at the University of Oh, wow, I forgot the university he he plays for. I do apologize. I think it was like University of Penn State at Alkeny or something like that. Anyway. And Gage Goldberg, the son of WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg, committing to the University of Colorado to be coached under primetime Deion Sanders. And we had some awesome, some other wrestling news. Hulk Hogan saving a young girl from her vehicle that was flipped over in an unfortunate car accident. So good guy Hulk Hogan playing good guy Samaritan, of course, among other things. But this past weekend at the Paradise in Paradise, Nevada, at the Palms Casino Resort, TNA has been reborn. TNA Hard to Kill took place live in front of a sold-out crowd, and it was an awesome show, guys. What a great show it was. And these were the matches that took place and its results. In the very first match of the new TNA era, Steve Maclin defeated Rich Swann in an awesome opening contest on the pre-show. And then we had a big tag team match. The System, the first tag team match, technically of the TNA era, of the new TNA era. The System, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers defeated Frankie Kazarian and Eric Young after an 8-minute match. Then, in a no disqualification match for the TNA Digital Media Championship, we had the first TNA Championship match of the new era and its first title change. Crazy Steve defeated Tommy Dreamer to become the new TNA Digital Media Champion. And then the show kicked off with an awesome opening video package of Eric Young, former TNA World Champion Eric Young, staring out at the Nevada desert, and the Las Vegas Strip can be seen in the background as he talks about what TNA means to him and what TNA will be going forward. And then it leads him to entering the arena with the entire TNA roster behind him, then stating, TNA, let's go. And the show officially started and kicked off with a very, very hot crowd with a very, very hot match. It was the first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match to determine the number one contender to the TNA Knockouts World Championship. Giselle Shaw was able to climb the Ultimate X structure and grab the X, securing her championship chance and number one contendership to the TNA Knockouts World title. Giselle Shaw defeated Alicia Edwards, Danny Luna, Jody Threat, Tasha Steelz, and newest TNA signing, Zaya Brookside. Yo, shout out to Ralph Calise, Mr. No worries, man. Better late than never. Thank you for tuning in. And in a big one-on-one match, this match only lasted 1 minute and 15 seconds. I can't believe that. I thought it would last longer. PCO defeated Dirty Dango by disqualification after Dirty Dango's entourage of Alpha Bravo and Oleg Prudis jumped into the match and started beating down on PCO, causing the disqualification and the victory for PCO. 6-man tag team match. Rhino, Jake Something, and PCO. After this cluster F of a beatdown happened, the beatdown turned into a 6-man tag. So it became Rhino, Jake Something, and PCO taking on and defeating Alpha Bravo, Oleg Prudis, and Dirty Dango, and defeating them by pinfall. The TNA Knockouts World Tag Team titles were decided. Decay, Havoc, and Rosemary defeated MK Ultra, Killer Kelly, and Masha Slamovich to become the new TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champions. And definitely, this next match was probably one of the highlights, if not the highlight of the night. In an awesome three-way match for the TNA X Division Championship, Chris Sabin successfully defended his X Division Championship against El Hijo del Vikingo and Kushida. Man, they had some great spots in this match. I don't know if anyone's seen the GIF that's been going around since Saturday. There's this awesome spot where Chris Sabin hits a Canadian Destroyer from the middle rope to Vikingo on the stage that leads to the ring. It was awesome. Just picture perfect Canadian Destroyer which is, for those who are uninitiated in the world of professional wrestling, a Canadian destroyer is a front flip pile driver. Yeah, let me repeat that. It's a front flip pile driver. You position yourself like you're going to hit a pile driver normally, then you proceed to grab your opponent by the waist, and then do a front flip, holding your opponent, and then as you land the flip, you hit the pile driver on your opponent. I hope I described that perfectly. If not, just go on YouTube and look up Best Canadian Destroyers, and you'll see what I'm talking about. In an awesome one-on-one match that went 15 minutes strong, former TNA World Champion Josh Alexander defeated former MLW Heavyweight Champion Alex Hammerstone in an awesome one-on-one match. These big, meaty men slopping meat. I don't know why I left that pause. I had to cough, sorry. Because I was making myself laugh. I was trying to do my best Wade Barrett impression. These big, meaty men slopping meat. And that's what exactly these two meaty, big-ass dudes did. Josh Alexander is like the new generation, the new TNA generation's Kurt Angle, with his wrestling singlet, and he still wears the headgear for some reason. Whatever. I like Josh Alexander. He's a good wrestler. And Alex Hammerstone, if TNA is not planning on signing him, I don't know what they're thinking, because he was definitely over with the crowd. The crowd knew exactly who he was. Alex Hammerstone could be a big get and a big star that you could definitely push as a new generation star for TNA. I feel like if they don't grab him, somebody will, a la New Japan or WWE, and maybe AEW may even try to grab him up. I hope to God they don't. But I definitely could see WWE grabbing him up with his look. He's he's fucking jacked to the gills, but he can fucking go, and he can move like a cruiserweight. So that's definitely a talent that WWE could utilize if TNA doesn't get smart and try to pin him down on a contract. Scott D'Amore, if you hear me, if you're listening, sign Hammerstone. Sign Hammerstone. Sign Hammerstone. In a big four-way tag team match for the TNA World Tag Team titles, Bullet Club's ABC, Ace Austin and Chris Bay, successfully defended their TNA World Tag Team titles against the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz, Laredo Kid and Mike Bailey, and the newest signees to TNA, the Grizzled Young Veterans, James Drake and Zach Gibson. It was a great match. All these guys really presented themselves in the best of lights. The Grizzled Young Veterans, you could tell they're so happy to be out of NXT. No more with this schism BS. No more contacts. No more weird clothes. None of that. They're back to being their original selves. They're back doing their original gimmick. And it's good to see that these guys are now happy and they're signed to TNA, a company that is definitely on the rise. Once again. And in a semi-main event for the TNA Knockouts World Championship, Jordynne Grace defeated Trinity to become the new TNA Knockouts World Champion. And in the main event for the TNA World Championship, Moose defeated Alex Shelley to become the new TNA World Champion. And the members of the System, which is the stable that Moose is a part of, came out to celebrate with him. And then an unfamiliar theme hit as Moose was raising the TNA World title above his head. An unfamiliar theme music hit. The words "Wanted Man" came across the Titantron, or the Tron. And then the name Nick Nemeth popped up on the screen. And of course, for those who are uninitiated, Ralph, I was getting to your comment here in just a second. Ralph in the chat room said, "Love Ziggler look in TNA." Yep, that's who it was. Nick Nemeth, formerly known as WWE's Dolph Ziggler, showed up in the ring and attacked the new TNA World Champion Moose, hit him with a zigzag, or whatever he's calling it now, and then hit the crowd with he ripped his shirt to show the new TNA logo, TNA shirt, jumped into the crowd and celebrated with the very hot and happy crowd there at the Palms Casino Resort, and chants of TNA, TNA could be heard ringing down as the pay-per-view went to a close. What a success Man, the internet has been abuzz. The internet wrestling community has been abuzz after the show took place. A lot of fans are saying that, man, TNA is back. This was great. TNA showed out. TNA is the secondary promotion that we all wanted AEW to be. And that last statement that I saw, I fucking agree with. That is what a secondary company should be. They're doing their own thing. They don't give a fuck what the other companies are doing. Their boss is not on Twitter acting like a complete and utter jackass every goddamn week. So, yeah, that is what a secondary promotion should be. Ignore what the others are doing. Focus on your own product, building it, making it the best it can be for you, your wrestlers, and the fans of your product. And that is what TNA is doing. It's a slow and steady race, but damn it, TNA is on the rise. I am so excited and happy to see that. Congratulations to Scott D'Amore. Congratulations to all the guys and gals on the roster of TNA. You guys put on an awesome show. I can't wait to see what the rest of 2024 holds for TNA, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. And I will be there along the way. I hope TNA brings a show here to my backyard of the DFW Metroplex. Maybe they'll bring a show to Dallas or maybe somewhere nearby in Arlington. I'm hoping to see TNA making some strides coming this way. So fingers crossed that we get a show or a premium live event sometime this year. I would definitely go and sit in attendance for that for sure. I wanted to get into this last week, but I didn't have enough time to get into it, and I look like I'm running low on time already again. But WWE this year, they have already started with the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament, where the winner gets the beautiful, gigantic Dusty Rhodes Classic trophy and becomes the number one contenders to the NXT Tag Team titles. And these are the teams that are currently in the semifinals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker defeated the team of Mark Coffey and Wolfgang of Gallus to move from the first round to the semifinals. The tag team of Axiom and Nathan Frazier have moved on to the semifinals after defeating Hank Walker and Tank Ledger. And the semifinal match will be Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker versus Axiom and Nathan Frazier. And then, as of yesterday on NXT, Chase University, the team of Duke Hudson and Riley Osborne, lost to the Latino World Order, Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde, and LWO advanced into the semifinals. Also last night on NXT television, Trick Mello Gang, Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams defeated Idris Enoff and Malik Blade to advance to the next semifinal round, and it will be the LWO taking on Hayes and Williams in the semifinals. The winners of these two semifinal matches will then face each other in the finals at NXT Vengeance Day on February 4th. That's the next premium live event for NXT Vengeance Day, and the winners of that match, the finals, will be the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament winners and the number one contenders to the NXT Tag Team titles. And the Royal Rumble, guys, we are literally a week away from the Royal Rumble. Next Saturday, January 27th, live from the Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida, it will be the 37th annual Royal Rumble. That's right, guys. The road to WrestleMania begins. The road to WrestleMania officially begins next Saturday, January 27th, and these are the matches that are official as of today. For the United States Championship, Logan Paul defends the United States Championship against Kevin Owens. A fatal four-way match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defends the Universal Championship against Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight. Yeah! Then we have the two big matches, the ones that decide the fates of a superstar to their road to WrestleMania is locked in stone once they win these matches. The first is the 30-woman Royal Rumble match. The winner gets a guaranteed championship match at a champion of their choosing at WrestleMania 40. And these are the participants that have already made themselves known to the Women's Royal Rumble match from SmackDown: Bianca Belair and Bayley. And on the Raw brand, Nia Jax and Becky Lynch have made their intentions known to enter the Royal Rumble. And on the men's side, the 30-man Royal Rumble match for a guaranteed World Championship match at WrestleMania 40. These men have already made themselves known for the match. From SmackDown, only one man has made his entry known, and that is the leader of the Pride, Bobby Lashley. And on the Raw side of things, just making his announcement this past Monday night on Raw, the Intercontinental Champion, the Ring General, Gunther, Drew McIntyre, Shinsuke Nakamura, CM Punk, and of course, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Can Cody Rhodes go back-to-back? Can Cody Rhodes do what only a handful of guys have been able to do? Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and go back-to-back winning Royal Rumble matches. We shall see Saturday, January 27th, live at the Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida, or live streaming on Peacock. If you haven't subscribed to Peacock, do so already so you don't miss one of the biggest, if not the biggest event of the year, the beginning of the road to WrestleMania, the first stop, Royal Rumble. Thank you guys for tuning in to this awesome day. I'm so glad I was able to put on a show for you today. Thank you guys for just giving me some love and being there. Thank you for everyone that tuned in and was in the chat room for the show. Thank you to Ralph Calise. Thank you to Larry B. Thank you to Jen B. I do appreciate the love and thank you for the support. Everyone, please follow me on the X at IE Wrestling Show. Please. And follow IE Sports Radio on the X and check out the official IE Sports Radio website, iesportsradio.com. Buy some jerky so you can eat some delicious Planet Jerky from planetjerky.net while you're listening to one of our awesome shows on the IE Sports Radio network. And one last thing before I go. Yo, Drewski, the Heart of Texas host for IE Sports Radio. How about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys? Damn! How about them Cowboys? I feel like Stephen A. Smith. God damn. If there's one thing in life... let me rephrase that. There's only one thing in life... No, there's only three things in life that are guaranteed. Death, taxes, and the Cowboys choking in the playoffs. Yeah! Oh, that makes me happy. Somebody clip this soundbite and send it to Drewski. Larry, you hear me? Please do that for me. How about them Cowboys? God damn. Oh, my God. The last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, my sister was an infant. My sister's about to be 28. I'll let you sit on that for a minute. Thank you for tuning in to the IE Wrestling Show. I'm your boy, the SoCal Saint. Please tune in next week. Same SoCal Saint time. Same SoCal Saint channel. Peace.